Our children are our biggest joy and they are our most precious treasure. But sometimes looking after this treasure becomes a little bit tricky, especially when it comes to their teeth. My name is Swati Maan. I'm a dentist, and in my video today, I'm going to purely cover the tips and tricks that we can follow to give our little children the best teeth possible and the healthiest smile possible. So let's have a look at that. The first very important question is how we should brush our children's teeth. Well, there are three important elements to it. Number one is how many times the child should brush their teeth and at what time of the day. Number two is what toothpaste we should use for our children. And number three is what kind of toothbrush we should use, manual or electronic. Answering the first question, as the best time for brushing is any time, to be honest, because we just want to get rid of the food particles and plaque. So whenever they are in a good mood, especially for very small children who are 2 to 3 years of age, is totally fine. But the nighttime brushing, which is just before bed, is extremely important because the saliva will have its own recovery mode throughout the night when they're sleeping. So keeping the mouth clean at that stage becomes quite important. In the daytime, before breakfast or after breakfast, just before going to school, is totally fine as well. And the timing for or the time duration for the brushing should be around 1.5 to 2 minutes time. When it comes to how we should brush, it will always be supervised by an adult. It must always be supervised until the age of 8 to 9. So, for instance, your child loves to brush, he or she has brushed his or her teeth for 30-40 seconds. You must take over afterwards and just spend 30 seconds just to help them, making sure that the food particles are out of the mouth and the teeth surfaces are all clean. If your child do not like brushing, that becomes tricky. In that case, you can just follow a little trick. Let your child brush your teeth or daddy's teeth, and afterwards, let daddy or mummy brush their teeth. So it's a great exchange of the skill, and they feel more independent and more in charge of the teeth in general. The second point, as I was saying, the choice of the toothpaste. If I give you a personal recommendation, it doesn't matter as long as you're using an age appropriate toothpaste. The right timing of brushing and the right way of brushing is more important than the choice of the toothpaste. If you end up buying a flavored toothpaste for your child because they love a certain type of flavor, if it's fluoridated or non-fluoridated, it doesn't matter. But as long as your child is brushing the teeth for 1.5 to 2 minutes, one time in the day, one before bed, it's absolutely fine. Number three comes, as I was saying, that what kind of toothbrush should be used. My personal recommendation again will be an electronic toothbrush from the age of 3. But for some reason, if your child doesn't like those vibrations or that feeling of electric one, that's absolutely fine. Let them be fully ready for having an electronic toothbrush, and then you can use that. Electronic brush is a better cleaning toothbrush because it covers more surface area, it has a better maneuvering capacity, and it even goes on the hidden areas of the teeth as well. So technically, that's more effective compared to a manual. But again, that's a personal choice, and that also depends what your child wants. So if we follow these little things, these are just the things to make sure that your child gets the best effect of brushing their teeth. The favorite food for children is sugar. They love their sugar. And this is very much of a childhood thing, and we don't want to take that sweetness away from their childhood. But there is one trick that we can follow. Rather than giving them a sugary snack, try and give them a dessert. That's less dangerous compared to a snack. Because if they're having a little dessert right after the meal, is not going to create a lot of acid attack on their enamel. But if they're having it in the form of a sugary snack, which they are finishing 2-3 hours after their main meal, that's going to impact their enamel in a worse way. So we can do a little negotiation with them and just say that, okay, your favorite sugary snack, for instance, is a small piece of cake or a brownie. Let's have it straight after food rather than having a snack. We can always replace that sugary snack with something which is healthy. Initially, it could be harder, but it's about how we convince them. We still are giving them the sugar, but at the right timing, which is in the form of a dessert, but not in the form of a snack. Another very important question asked by the parents is, when shall we start the child's first dental visit? Well, my answer to that question will be as soon as you see the first tooth in their mouth, which could be anywhere from 6 to 8 months or 1 year. And from there onwards, it should be a regular pattern of every 6 to 8 months for the regular dental checkups, unless the child's dentist, they tell you to do something else or tell you to come more often. Because the most common problem that we see in children's mouth is the dental decay. And according to a recent survey of 2023 and 24, approximately 20,000 hospital admissions happened for children from the age of 5 to 9 because of the dental decay. So if we are taking our children regularly for the dental visits, the dental cavities can be detected at an early stage. And detection of the dental cavities at an early stage requires less intervention. That means by just a normal filling or a temporary filling, we can resolve the issue rather than taking them to the hospital if the tooth is really badly infected. And at that situation, we have to remove the tooth. And that's quite traumatic. So regular visits keep the things more under control. Your dentist can advise what needs to be done, any improvements needed for the oral hygiene, and if there is any decay because of any reason, that can be filled and rectified at an early stage without too much of pain, and that's very important. So now we can see that this is not that difficult. The roadmap is not as tricky as our children, and it's all about forming habits, whether that's for children, that means brushing their teeth, the sugary snacks, etc., and habit forming for parents as well, making sure we supervise them brushing and also taking them regularly for their dental visits. So I hope the video was informative. You gained some knowledge about children's teeth and how you look after it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me the message in the comment section, and I will look forward to see you all in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.